A paradise island. Beautiful, tranquil, breathtaking. A haven and a home for monsters large and small. An island never disturbed. Until now.
Son, I think we might have to run. What is it, Papa? Oh, shit!
It's feeding time! Meet Laviente, a colossal island super predator, arguably the single largest creature in the entire Monster Hunter world. He lay dormant for many, many years, until his hunger erupted as violently as the volcano his assault let loose. His urge to feed, to consume, to take in all life and convert it into essence of his own dwarfs that of a Devil Joe. He makes Nikakos look like a Devil Joe. He is endless and he is unstoppable. This then, Laviente, is quite a special encounter and quite a special creature. Not an elder dragon, not a snake wyvern. In fact, he is simply unclassified. What this relic of ancient times could possibly be truly is still a mystery to the guild. He resides on Solitude Island, though in truth it is a series of islands, and he lay dormant beneath it. See, a creature of this size, the volume of food it would need to survive is astronomical. To get around this, well, it simply hibernates deeply for hundreds upon hundreds of years, until eventually the call of its stomach is deafening, until its hunger is violent as the volcano whose eruption woke it early from its sleep, causing a catastrophic event that turned Solitude Island from this lush paradise into a desolate volcanic wasteland, filled with pools of acid, boiling geysers, steaming rock, and no living creatures whatsoever. A true localized extinction event puppeteered by this colossal serpent. That day was a grim day for Mother Nature.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Laviente then, as I said, is gluttonous to a fault, exhausting his initial food supply in a matter of days. And a Laviente that starts to feel that gnaw in his belly is seriously dangerous, and it wouldn't be long before he would burrow under the very oceans themselves and raise once more on the mainland, causing havoc and untold loss of life, finding himself against the civilizations of hunters and bringing to heel town after town. So the guild sent their best and brightest to stop him there and then on Solitude Island, which now had been converted into little more than an arena for this deadly duel. The geysers spouting, acting as ingenious transport methods for the hunters, launching them away from attacks and into safe repositioned locations. This truly was a confrontation for the ages.
Hello!
And in fact, the threat of Laviente was so great that not 4 hunters would stand against him, but 16. Yes, similar to perhaps the siege of Kulf Taroth, you divide into 4 sets of 4 and attack the beast. The health bar shared across all groups, across all instances of the hunt. It really is one hell of a challenge. And to put into perspective how ridiculous Laviente was, Well, there wasn't a set number of carts due to the shared lobby health, everyone chipping away at the same Laviente, but no, you needed someone to stay back at camp and act as a support role in order to keep everyone alive and send bombs and simply manage the whole experience. The fight takes place across 3 different zones. The geyser bubbling pits of acid are one of them, but there's the mountain and then the volcano itself, where flaming rocks rain down in the wake of the combat. And there is 10 different stages, 3 in each of the main maps, and then 3 minutes to carve. 3 minutes! Each of those stages has its own, you did it! Rewards, here you go! And then you have to join again for the next one. So imagine 16 hunters in 4 groups of 4, each doing 10 separate hunts simultaneously, 40 hunts, to bring down a single Laviente. It's kinda insane. I think a little bit too much. I think perhaps Monster doesn't need that much going into it in order to successfully hunt it, but it was ambitious, and it was certainly very, very cool. The Laviente fight itself is awe-inspiring. His roar, due to sheer scale, can be heard for miles around, and even high-grade earplugs are nothing in its presence. Agony strikes all who hear it, bones vibrating, and immobilization is all that you face until it dims. It truly is one monstrous serpent, and serpent is perhaps right. Laviente discovered before Najarala, and that whole class of wyvern, it could very well be where it sits. In any case, it will smash down with its great tusked face, it will cause avalanches of rock, it will release a paralytic cloud all down its body, it can mimic Teostra with explosive fields of powder that ignite and burn to a crisp all caught within. Fireballs of such awe-inspiring destructive power that again Teostra's like,
Damn!
It burrows into the ground and causes even more erratic volcanic activity as great geysers erupt in fire pillars all around. Well, it really is just unprecedented. It rains as 450 meters long, 10 more than Dalamadur, though if the Rotten Vale skeletons are to accurately predict Dalamadur's potential, Dalamadur still is king. But in terms of what hunters have actually fought, by just a smidge, Laviente takes the crown. It is also, well, chunky. He is roughly the same width the entire way down, and paints one imposing figure. Eventually, though, after tireless efforts, endless fighting across days and nights, one hell of a war for the history books against one hell of a monster, Laviente is brought to heel. But that is not the end of this story. For just like Devil Joe, if a Laviente goes too long without food, it does not starve, at least not straight away, but transform, metamorphosize into something altogether more violent. Oh yes, meet violent Laviente. Technically still unclassed, the Great Crag Wyvern this time would be a variant. A hungry, a agonizingly hungry, a terribly, painfully, all-consumingly hungry variant. Their scales turn almost grey, their bellies white, the pigment drained, nutrients lacking. They become a desperate vessel for sustenance, lashing out, aggressive beyond compare, they end up as little more than mindless forces of sheer destruction. An even more alarming threat by far than normal Laviente, able to turn up its flames to 11, streams of them heating the very ground, turning it into a hostile environment that would melt metal, fusing Hunter to the floor before their screams rain out. The smoke churned up by this burn, obscuring vision, filling lungs. The acrid smoke, like acid, across the body of any who inhale it. It will then try and get the hunters themselves into its mouth, vacuum them in to satiate that ever so present hunger. Rocks rain down, molten rocks too, whirlwinds of death. And this is just the start. For when pushed and pushed and pushed, this desperate Laviente has its final stand, and it will unleash everything it has against the hunters. It is faster, it is more powerful, and it will have its next meal. Unless, of course, you kill it, which is fantastic, yay, yippee, all well and good. But careful, because Laviente has yet to go berserk. Yes, there is one more, the Berserk Laviente. This is his ultimate form. He is peak. A Laviente that has just awoken. Naturally, not early by the volcano's tremors like the base, but a true Laviente in true cycle. This has all the fury of the violence, hunger, urging it on, pushing it past its limits, but while retaining the fully charged energy and essence of a satiated Laviente, as it's only just woken up from its long hibernation. It is the best of both worlds, full power with none of the drawbacks, and, well, yes, it very, very much shows it off. They are capable of taking on and consuming essentially every other living creature. And these tend to want to stay deeper underground. It's where they rest, it's where they recuperate, it's where they make their nests. And indeed, it does find itself in the depths of the Solitude Island, a massive cavern that it calls home, and a place of one hell of a battle. Lava cascading down, the jagged rock formations making a grim centerpiece to this spectacle. It really is one daunting battleground. And this serpent once more has a new hue. Moss growing upon it from its long, deep slumber gives it highlights of greeny yellow. Teal in its membranes connecting each jagged scale. The eye glowing a deep, deep sky blue, all adorned by jet black plating leading to segmented curved horns. This truly is one hell of a sight to see. It will be master of its domain, causing earthquakes and rocks to rain down and shake the ground. It knows full well that it can agitate the very earth and cause the geysers to erupt, sending hunters skyward. And they will never land again, for it will scoop them out the air, with ease swallowing them whole for an instant kill, no matter what. It will put its full weight, full force into ground slams, and it will cause eruptions, magma, and it will slowly, very slowly, begin its ultimate weapon. A fireball so voluminous, so overwhelming, so purely powerful, that the only truly safe place is to be atop the back of the Berserk Laviente itself. Something which must be done to bring truly an end to it. This is, well, one hell of a monster, and it is one hell of an encounter, and honestly, it's pretty goddamn cool. There is no more ultimate form of the Laviente. And there you have it, guys. That is Laviente. Not a whole lot known about him, but he is a phenomenon and a half. One massive, colossal creature that can dominate anywhere it goes with its sheer size and strength. But it has the weaponry to back it up. It has the arsenal to employ. And it's quite a clever cookie, too. And damn, would it love to eat a cookie. What do you guys think of it then? Again, design-wise, I think it could be a little bit more refined. I think, at least in the base form, the tusks seem a little bit out of place. There's a bit too much going on. It could be sleeker, almost. But then again, Dalmada's got his hooks as well. But it is undeniably badass to just have a dirty, great big dragon snake that dominates an entire island, weaving in and out the ground, consuming literally every living thing that takes a small army of hunters to stop. It's just like, how do you fight that? It is awe-inspiring. And the idea of the future in a future Monster Hunter game bringing us an encounter like this, bringing something that is such an event where the creature is both the fight but also a huge part of the environment. Like, I mean, I guess Zora was almost there, right? It was kind of the start of that idea, but this whole concept of lots of hunters, this big monster, this big showdown, done more elegantly than Laviente, more elegantly than Zora, more elegantly than Kulf Taroth, just this ultimate apex battle twixt hunter and nature, I think is so wonderful to imagine. Would Laviente work as a one-for-one? Probably not. It needs to be an event. He's too big, he's too powerful, he's too awkward to properly implement. You'd have to do some massive changes to make it work, to make it smooth, to make it fun. Because ultimately, as imposing as a monster like this is, constantly just jabbing its side while it coils around for the most of the fight isn't exactly fun. Once you've had the experience a couple times, got over the initial, oh my god, look at it, then you end up in, yep, this is great, just want my materials. So it's always a delicate tightrope to walk. In any case, I would love to know your thoughts on him and how you would go about giving him a reimagining, reviving him from the grave of forgotten frontier. For now though, like if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more, and I will see you soon. Oh god. Bye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.